Hello, sinners. It is I, Father Evil, and I invite you to Destination Station on YouTube.
Bagels and go to Destination Station. This buddy is the bomb.
Yep.
Love him.
Yep.
Fucking A.
Yep.
I had to say that for a reason.
Freddie, take that, motherfucker.
All right. Okay. Fuck you. Yeah. Jamie Kennedy. Subscribe to my man, Destination Station, right now if you want the best content.
What's up? Welcome to Destination Station. As always, I'm Destin. Thank you for clicking on this video. Subscribe to Destination Station if you want Scream, Halloween, and everything in between. And for all your horror movie and horror game news, stick right here at Destination Station. 2023 has been a big year for games, and the month of October is always a big slam month of just big hitters. And this year did not disappoint. This month didn't disappoint. And we got some good horror games like Alan Wake 2. Like, this game was something I have been looking forward to since the original game came out. I've always been a big fan of Alan Wake, just the story part of it, just the voiceover of Alan Wake himself, of just being a writer, and it's having like this like very Stephen King, almost like Twin Peaks element to it. And even though that Alan Wake 1 was a rated teen game, you know, a horror game being rated teen doesn't sound very inspirational. You know, it sounds like something, you know, like we as horror fans, we look at like PG-13 horror movies and we're kind of like, oh, we're kind of let down. You know, like this weekend we got Five Nights at Freddy's. I have not yet to see that, so I will review it later, but once I see it. But you know, that's what I'm talking about here, is like few and far between we get a really good PG-13 horror movie, and Alan Wake was a really good rated teen horror game. It had some really fun elements with the flashlight, breaking the shields of these shadowy figures, just the vibe. It had mood and atmosphere, and that's what you want in a horror game, especially like a horror game. So like when Alan 2 was actually, I never really even thought we would get an Alan Wake 2 game. So when they did finally say that, hey, this is coming out and Remedy is finally going to release this, I kind of forgot about it throughout the year, because it was something that I was looking forward to, but there were so many different games this year. We got Spider-Man 2, we got Lords of the Fallen. We've had so many good games this year, and Alan Wake 2 was something that I always had in the back of my mind, but I was like, is it really ever going to get released, or is this going to get delayed again? And so like I'm kind of glad that I kind of kept it in the back of my mind instead of just being like overhyped for the game, because when the game did finally come out, I was super excited. I was like, oh, this actually comes out this week. And I was feeling a little bit of gaming fatigue just with all the games that are coming out, you know. But Alan Wake 2 was definitely something I had to get my hands on and play ASAP, because it was just one of those games that I've been eagerly waiting to play. And I'm going to tell you right now, it has not disappointed. I have not completely finished Alan Wake 2 or anything, but the presentation here is subpar. I mean, like the mood and atmosphere is there. It's heavy on. We're going full survival horror in this one, and it is rated M for mature. So they are taking it up a notch with like horror elements and the language, and being a little bit of a darker tone, instead of like, I would say that Alan Wake was kind of an adventure kind of feel. Even though it was kind of survival horror, it wasn't full-blown Resident Evil survival horror or the Evil Within type of horror, you know. And those are the kind of games that like really, really resonate with me. I love that. I love creeping down corridors and with a flashlight and trying to figure out how to get into this room or get the generators on, get the electricity back on. That all intrigues me. And then with the sound design, and Alan Wake 2's sound design is so good. I'm talking about, like, if you play this game, play it with headphones, because this game has some really creepy sounds, like from all over. If you got Dolby Atmos or just regular stereo headphones, like whatever, just put headphones on when playing this game, and it makes that immersion with a survival horror game that much better. And Alan Wake 2, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a perfect game. I have not got to the end game. I'm very close. I'm taking my time with it. Games like that are single player and especially survival horror and something that I'm really into, I don't want to rush through it. I want to take my time with it. I want to explore every corner. I want to explore every avenue. Like, I want to take in the art direction on this is beautiful. I mean, I'm talking about Remedy does some really crafty stuff with the way that they create their games. It's just and Alan Wake 2, I wouldn't say it's like the scariest game ever. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, like, that mood and atmosphere is very thick and very heavy on. And you play as two protagonists. So like, you got like these two different things going on here, and it's almost like a true detective feel, you know, here and there with I get a little bit of Blair Witch vibes. I get they get that cult stuff going on. You're trying to figure out what is going on in Bright Falls, and then you got Alan Wake, where he is like in this dreamy noir city setting, you know, like it's very different. It's almost like two games in one, it feels like, and the way that you can balance and go between both characters and both different worlds is really unique, you know, and they do a really good job at, you know, presenting like how they're trying to unfold their story. You got like this this wall where you can go into their mind, and you can kind of like put puzzles together, and you put pictures, and you can, you know, you're trying to solve these cases, which a lot of them you kind of like figure out before you actually figure it out on the wall. So I see where they're going with it. I don't think it's as perfect as they would want it to be, but I could see this being adapted in other games, or maybe Alan Wake 3 if they ever make a third one, and explore it a little bit more. I think it's a really cool element how you can just swap back to that in their mind, and it's kind of like you're in this little room hub where you can go profile the killers, or you can go read manuscripts, or you can upgrade your weapons, or you can go to your wall and just kind of like investigate different things that you found within the world, and you try to put the puzzles together to progress in the story and go to those locations and find what you need to progress. You know, it's a really cool way that they did do this, and they do still do that they mix like live, you know, like actors. You got real actors in this blended with the game, and it's kind of like, it feels like another separate world, you know. And there's moments in this game that it surprised me, because I was like, there is a tone shift here and there. It doesn't stay long, but it's definitely weird, wild, but I love it. It's so different. But you know, I want to pump the brakes. I want to like express, this is not a very scary game. This is still, you know, your typical Alan Wake. You got the flashlight, you got your gun, you have other weapons in here. You know, you got crossbows, you got shotguns, along with other stuff. You know, you find things along the way, other weapons and stuff. But there's Remedy does these like mind trippy, you know, like real artistic, like it's a little too artsy for me in certain areas. Like I kind of get like, there's parts where it's like, okay, we're dragging this on a little bit too long. I'm ready to keep going. There's a lot of like flashing lights and stuff like that. So if you're sensitive to lights and flashiness and like real like just warped stuff, you know, like if you're really sensitive to that kind of stuff, you know, like you might want to hesitate on watching some of these scenes, but it's still just such a great game. It's so fun. I don't want it to end. That's why I'm savoring it. I can't give it a full rating. I don't really like to rate things. I just want to recommend to y'all. And if you're a horror fan, and if you've been eagerly waiting for an Alan Wake 2, get your hands on this, because this is so much fun. And the way like the different areas open up and stuff, and how they intertwine with each other. You know, there's a lot of games that does this new thing where, you know, you got like different worlds. You know, like I was mentioning earlier. You know, one of the better games this year was Lords of the Fallen. And other games are starting to adapt this thing to where you do a thing on your controller and you can see the world in a different way. It's like a separate world. You're still in the same world, but you see it in a different way. So it's like two worlds into one. And they do that with this lamp, this bulb that he has, and you have to go underneath like a light fixture or something, and you have to hit a button, and it'll just go into another dimension. Or like, say you get to an area and there's like, oh, you can't get beyond this wall, or there's like a barrier, and once you do the lamp thing with the light, it changes the entire environment, and it shows, and there's like puzzles with that. Like sometimes you got to go back and forth to figure out how to progress in the game, and I like that. I thought that was really, really unique. A part of me almost misses the original Alan Wake, like as far as like adventurous it was, you know, like I liked Alan Wake exploring Bright Falls. In this one, Alan Wake's more in a dream setting. I don't know yet if he comes to Bright Falls. I haven't got that far into the game. But the other protagonist you play is Saga. I was very hesitant about this because I was like, "Oh, what are we doing here? Is this an Alan Wake game, or is this a Saga game?" And actually, her presence is a breath of fresh air, because like I love her story a little bit. I have some ideas of where it's going and everything, and how it's going to intertwine. But like her true detective, you know, you're really her. Investigating Bright Falls and that area. She's in Alan Wake's position as Alan Wake was in the original, and trying to find Alan Wake and find out what's going on with these grisly murders that are going on, and the cult within the town and all that kind of stuff. So I really love that aspect. I love the woods. I mean, like I'm talking about from where the wind is blowing on the woods, like the trees and the limbs and everything. It's like I cannot emphasize how good the mood and atmosphere is in this game. I love it. I don't want it to end. I hope you get a chance to check out this game if you're a true horror fan, and if you love stuff like survival horror, this is going to be right down your alley. Remedy is doing a badass job at this. Control was something that I kind of liked. It was a really good fun elements to it. Quantum Break was really cool as well. Like the original Alan Wake, I loved. But like this here is like where their bread and butter is. I feel like they know how to present something. You know, like you feel like you're in a movie. You feel like you're in a horror movie. And am I a little bit biased because I like horror movies and stuff? Like maybe a little bit, but this is still a great game on its own, you know, even if you're not a horror fan. But this here is like Remedy's like shine here, like what they can do, and this feels like a next gen title, you know. So yeah, I'm really excited to know exactly where this ending is going to end up. But I don't want it to end. That's the thing, as I don't want it to end. I want to savor it. I want it to keep going, and I hope Remedy does make an Alan Wake 3, and I hope we don't have to wait 13 years for it. So yeah, that's what I had to say. I wanted to bring you on to this. If you are a horror fan, this is a horror fan's wet dream. Go check this game out. Even if you're not into gaming, it's like a little bit of a slow burn, so you know you don't have to be too smart or too gamey to get your hands on this and get into it. It's an experience. It's mood and atmosphere to the T. So yeah, have you checked out Alan Wake 2? What did you think about it? Do you think that it's a 10 out of 10, or you think it's a mediocre game? Or, you know, if you are a horror fan or not a horror fan, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this game, because I feel like even if you're not a big gamer or anything, I feel like you could easily fall into this and have a good time and you know, experience the world of Alan Wake, and it might make you want to go back and play the first game, which I highly recommend because it is a great game. So yeah, the only thing that I would say that I would want out of an Alan Wake 3, or what I kind of wanted in this one, and it might still get there, is Alan Wake was a little bit more adventurous, I guess you would say, instead of like more of a slow burn. Alan Wake, I thought that they would take more of a adventurous, approach. And I'm not saying like go Uncharted way with it, or anything like that. Not that much, but just a little bit more, not lighthearted, but like more fun, more adventurous, Maybe they'll do that with Alan Wake 3, but yeah, overall, this is a fantastic game. Go play it. Get your hands on it right now. It's the spooky season. Tomorrow is Halloween. It's a perfect game to come out at Halloween season. So yeah, this is Destination Station. As always, I'm Destin. Let me know if you like these gaming reviews, because I'm going to put more gaming on my channel if these videos do well. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below how you feel about it. And subscribe to Destination Station if you haven't already. And I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.